right now because we have 10 minutes. I said I want to get the Facebook puts before close, but yeah. So Dylan, I'm recording right now, so you're going to be in my YouTube video. Is that straight?
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
All right, man. You got Dylan here. We finished up the live stream. 7 hours. I got Conroy. Conroy, you can say what's up, Conroy. Dude, I think they see you in the chat. Give him a voice, Conroy. Conroy.
What's up?
How's it going? There you go. See, he's like, what's up? Wait, what? Huh? Conroy doesn't answer unless it's about plays or money. He's on his shit. But hey, we got a lot to talk about. This is, we're going over the final plays we're gonna make. We ended the stream another 6 hours. So if you guys missed it, go through it. You guys with the glossary, post whatever you guys need to on there. It was good, and I did give a task for the scholarship, and only one person did it. I posted it in my last video, so I kind of like this scholarship thing. I'm dropping them randomly throughout the videos. If you watch them all, you're getting them, but one person got it. I said you could share the task or not, but if you want to advantage, you might not want to share it, and they didn't share it. So I thought that was pretty savage. But let's talk about what happened in the market. I'm going to talk about what happened today. You saw the predictions we had and where are things lining up to and what there is to look for. So let's talk about the future. What are we looking for? We were just going over it right now, discussing the Fed. That was a big issue last week. That was a big issue the weeks before that. And if you even look at the SPY chart, let's see. I believe, I gotta pull up the daily. If that was longer than 14 days ago, was it longer than 2 weeks ago, the Fed? I think it was just right there. See, so you guys can see that. Excuse the VWAP. You can watch the video if you want to know what that line, the red little line through the middle is. But that right there was the last Fed meeting. As you can see, we're back up to the same place. So we're back up to the low after Powell talked. So this is interesting, right? Think about it. 14 days just to be at the same exact price. So this is kind of linking those two events together. So that's why I'm bringing up the future here, because we just discussed it now. What is important to look for is the Fed talking. So what I mean by that is there's a bunch of these little speeches happening where these Fed chairs, there's multiple Feds. There's like a Dallas Fed, New York Fed, all that. And these heads of the Fed all come, they're kind of like the TTF. They are honestly a little cult. They just call it the Fed. See, that's why it's creepy. We call ourselves a cult. We understand, we get it. But for them, they're all coming out doing these speeches, and they're not like official. Like last time you guys saw, it was like a conference. So the key here to watch, there's 9. I think there's no less than 9. So 9 speeches are going to go on. That has the potential to draw the markets up and down. If one of these guys is too hawkish, one of them is too dovish, it's going to send stuff overboard. And I even heard, I saw a few articles where investors are getting worried now because I think as we move here, is it a live meeting on Wednesday though? Is there a live meeting on Wednesday with rates? That I've not double checked. So somebody, if you guys, this isn't a task, but you could be helpful, comment below and let us know if it is going to be the live meeting. I'm not too sure, so I want you guys to confirm it. That's the beauty of all of you here. But if it is, that'll be interesting. But the thing people are worried about is Fed credibility. So what happens if they are too dovish now? People might think they're scared and panicky, and but if they go too hard, it's a fine balance. It's going to be interesting. But what happened now today? Today was kind of boring. I thought it'd be more exciting. Like I said, this has been the first trading day of the year, first trading Monday, really, or first not Monday, but like real trading week. We're not having any breaks. Volume's decent right now, but surprisingly similar to the days before where I was expecting it to be slow, and I was expecting more from that, both volume, activity. The volatility is good, in the sense it hasn't panicked anybody. The VIX is at 20 today, but there wasn't too much. There's a few buyouts, like I think Eli Lilly, PG&E, PCG, the electric company with the fires. If you guys aren't familiar, some people are saying they could be held responsible for the wildfires. So they have like a bankruptcy talks that it pretty much got worse. They died. Medtronic, we hit that on stream. And I think I'm going to post the lesson for that once we go back through it. I might either post it today or tomorrow whenever I have time. But they left the CFO left. That dropped the stock. There was little stuff, but the real big main events today. I believe it was the negotiations for, well, there's a few in different tiers, but the negotiations for the funding and the wall and all that stuff happening. They're discussing it right now, but we haven't had updates, except for this leads to the second. Trump announced that tomorrow at 9 p.m., he is going to address the United States public about the national security and this border wall issue. So right away, people in the stream, everybody was saying how they think it could be, what was it called? State of emergency? Is that what it would be to implement it? I think that's what it's called. But he would pretty much, there's a way he could go about doing it through a national security or state of emergency to do it. So if that happens, what could the effect be? That's the question. And, again, with all that stuff, and then I think that was the final things in the market. The last thing I was going to say is today, you're getting cutting for some of the government funding stuff, and we're about to approach 21 days is the longest government shutdown in history. We are about 5 days away from that, I think. So how this progresses and plays out will get very, very interesting. But with Trump, the wall, and all that, and even the Fed, that's the thing, because now it's negotiations. Oh, and oh my gosh, I'm retarded. I missed the biggest part. The China talks. Apparently they went in today for China talks, and some people are reporting back that no, it's not actually going good, and they're saying like Wilbur Ross and people are sticking to it. And there's two things that's going to happen from that. Either if it's positive, the market, if there is a real deal, the market will take it and run. But I'm thinking the next thing that could happen is that the deal is going to conclude. They're going to talk really nice about it and dovishly and say, oh, we had a deal, we got this, or this. And then just like last time, that brought the market down. And I talked about this. A different report came out and China wasn't happy with it, and it was a lie, and then it shot down. It was just like when the Fed, Powell at first, it shot the market up and then came down. So that's how you see the market react. And even today we had ISM numbers, and that's something to talk about too before I get into kind of seeing do we gap up or gap down. The last thing was ISM, and we talked about it last week with manufacturing, and that brought the market, that had a negative effect. But now this was positive, some would say, just because it was a bad service sector print. And good news is bad news, because if that data is bad, people are saying, well, yeah, it shows a decline in the economy. But if a decline in the economy would mean the Fed won't raise rates and will chill out, that will have a better effect on asset prices. So therefore, that news is good. That's how it works. It's trippy in the markets, but again, that's if you're new, it doesn't make sense. If you've seen it before, you're like, yeah, I know, I hate it, because it gets confusing at times. But that was pretty much the last thing with, I guess, biggest events that came out. And then finally, putting it all together, what I'm trying to say is that if you want to look at this from a perspective of what's going to happen or what's not, the catalysts are showing up. I said the market could gap up, and again, first I said it's going to come gap down. If you watch the stream, I said watch for about Wednesday, Thursday. And again, we're going to have the wall at 9. We'll see what he says on that. But now let's see what the Fed could do, and be prepared to watch all three of these: the government shutdown, the China trade deal, and the wall issue. And then now don't forget oil and Brexit. You see, thank God I have 5 fingers, so I could keep the oil and Brexit are these ones, and then these are your other ones. But watch how they all mix in together, where one will happen, they're all gonna pop off like this at random times, and then you're gonna start seeing the market's gonna pick which one's the best. So oil was interesting today as well too, but that's what I'm saying. The fact that we have Fed meetings and the Fed has totally been eyed today, we could see volatility. The fact with Trump, the shutdown, and I even said it on the stream today, as the shutdown progresses, this can also get a lot worse, because we've only seen short shutdowns and that effect, but now the longer it gets, the more money it costs. And I also talked about that, government shutdown costs $5.6 billion a week. That is your wall every week. So people aren't getting paid, and like I said, the next date will be January 11th, where I believe all funding gets cut. So that is pretty much it. That's what I'm looking for. You guys seen it. I have my plays. Thank God. We got 10 minutes left in the market, so I know exactly what I'm going to go after there. You guys heard me talk about my Facebook puts and other things, but I was also telling these guys I do want to scale in some, but I am more hesitant right now, just because I think tomorrow, if we don't get a gap, and like I said, it's easy to expect things. It's easy for me to expect it's going to be crazy, 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 all these events, but maybe I need to tone it back because those things could very well happen and nothing happens because something bigger could be brewing, and understanding the timing of the declines and everything else we've seen, it's going to be an interesting one. So this is why I got to stay focused, stay prepared. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I love you guys. Subscribe, drop me a like, a comment. Let's hear your guys' feedback. And what do you guys think? What do you guys think for the rest of the week? Do you think the Fed will be hawkish or dovish? And do you think we go up or down, or do you think we're going to see gappers this week? Let's see. Let everybody put their expectations out, so then we could all write our expectations, and then we could just say, okay, we should never expect anything. Now we've been honest, but then you could also see kind of where the market's divided with every single person. So, and like I said it on stream too, learn to get a filter and build up that filter for news and even reading comments and chats to know bullshit, not this, that, take it with a grain of salt. So, love you guys. Be safe. Peace.